Hello, and welcome to the first development update of Pandemic of the Forgotten Virus. I am Faith, a representative of Not Safe for Plebs, and I'm here to explain our progress so far with the game. But before that, I would like to explain what our game is. Pandemic of the Forgotten Virus is a local multiplayer bullet hell shooter game, where two players can compete with each other or an AI to try and defeat each other and reach the stratosphere. A player can fight against another human player or an AI. The objective of the game is to shoot down enemies, dodge bullets, and rack up points and spend them on abilities that undermines your rival to ultimately defeat them. As for the game story, you can view that on the planned presentation video on the description down below. The game starts out to the main menu. There are 4 options that the player can choose here: Story, Versus, Options, and Quit. For now, the option button is functional but leads to nothing. This will later have volumes and other options such as key bindings. When you click the story button, you will be presented with the option of choosing one of the protagonists of the game, Megu and Kiara. Each storyline has their own unique dialogue, though they face off against the same rivals for all 3 stages. Each character also has their own unique abilities. Currently, only Stage 1 is available to be played. Stage 2 and 3 has not been implemented yet. In the story mode, you will face off against an AI. Our AI currently uses very basic neural network implementation, so your experience may vary. It will be updated later as development continues. Each story level will have a start and end dialogue. When you click the Versus button, you will be presented with a choice for Player 1 and Player 2 of the Versus mode. Both players can choose the same characters, and like in story mode, each character has their own unique abilities. After you start, the game will begin. Player 1 controls the left character, while Player 2 controls the right character. As for the controls, it's WASD plus JK for Player 1, and arrow keys plus numpad 2 and 3 for Player 2. In the future, we would like to give the player the ability to remap the controls. Now let's talk about the game itself. The following will cover both modes. On a particular level, both players start at 0 point and 0 altitude. Enemies will start spawning and attacking the players. For now, there are only 2 kinds of enemies, a weak enemy and a strong enemy. The player can shoot and kill them to gain points. A weak enemy gives the player 10 points, while a strong one gives 100 points. Killing a strong enemy also spawns some special bullets on your rival's screen. Players can spend the points to use their ultimate ability. How many points are needed for a player to activate their ultimate ability varies by characters and altitude. There are 3 modes to each level that will affect enemies and ultimate abilities. The first mode starts when the player is at 0 altitude, the second starts at 400, and the third at 800. Each mode increase will have harder enemies than the last, but your ultimate ability will get upgraded along the way. Ultimate abilities will clear the bullets on your screen, and will also spawn bullets on your rival's screen. A mode only affects the player in that mode. The goal of the game is to reach 1000 altitude first. You can do this by having the other player get hit by a bullet. When a player gets hit, the rival's altitude will increase by 200. Meaning a player can die a maximum of 5 times before it's game over. You can feel the altitude and points of both players in the middle of the screen. There is also a mechanic called grazing. Grazing is when the player stands very close to a bullet. When a player grazes a bullet, they will gain a bonus point to their point pool. On the story mode, if the player wins, the player can advance to the next level or back to the main menu. If the player loses, the player can try the level again or go back to the main menu. While on Versus mode, if one of the players wins, a simple win screen will be shown and the players may choose to go back to the main menu. Lastly, we have a few major things we would like to finish in beta. First, we would like to complete all story levels. Second, we would like to implement the various enemies using better and more recognizable sprites. Third, we would like to have a more robust AI that could offer a degree of challenge to the player. Fourth, we're not yet happy with our controls. As such, we will try to refactor and remap some of the controls we have. And last but not least, we would like to balance the overall game, so that it offers a more enjoyable experience. Of course, there are other minor improvements we would like to make on the beta version, but it would probably be too long to mention in this video. Thank you for watching.